the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here for the OP Racing Super Speedway Series Championship race at Daytona. 4 drivers gonna etch their names in the history books for the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. But before that can happen, we gotta get through 200 miles of racing. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. My name is KR Stolfus, and on the mic with me here is my good buddy Dave World. Dave, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, KR. Looking forward to see what gonna happen out there tonight. We're always blessed with some craziness, whether it's from fuel strategy, the big one, or just big moves. So looking to see if the championship 4 lay it all out there at the beginning, or if they choose to wait till later on here today at Daytona.
We have 4 drivers who are out there to win the championship, but they're not the only ones that are going to be able to win the race. All the drivers out here tonight capable of winning this race. And Dave, that means that these championship 4 have their work cut out for them tonight.
Long night for these guys, KR, and with only one fast repair, you're gonna want to hang on to that, especially if you're one of these championship 4. Gonna want to find yourself at the end of this thing still being able to lay down all of the horsepower, stay with the group. I mean, I don't know, could end up rough, could end up good. We'll just have to see who smells the roses at the end of this thing.
All right, Dave, why don't you go ahead and refresh our memory of who these 4 drivers are that we're going to be keeping a close eye on here tonight.
Well, all 4 drivers, I believe, have had at least one win this season. Hunter Reynolds, Rick Seabrands, Josh Milam, James Mayer. Those are your championship 4. Those are the ones that we won't necessarily focus on, but we will keep an eye on them throughout the entire race. No matter where they're running, they just need to finish in front of one or the other to walk away with this championship. Points don't matter at this point in time for those 4, so that's going to change the whole stage point thing, where some of the best of the rest are still vying for those valuable points here tonight.
We're watching Rick Seabrands as he finds a shortcut through the track. Good little interesting lane that Rick took there. Before Machine having a little bit of fun before he fires off for the race here tonight. Showing that he is relaxed, he is confident, and that is something that the rest of the field needs to be worried about. All right, so we have just a few minutes before the race starts, guys. So let's go ahead and run down everything that we know here about OP Racing Super Speedway Series in this season so far. This is the championship race for the Cup Series on Monday nights. These guys have a few other series that they run. If you're interested in coming in and running on Monday night, you do have to run in other feeder series, if you will. They run on Wednesday night and Saturday night. Monday night Cup Series, an invite from the drivers who run in the 2 feeder series And Dave, I don't know about you, but I think that is a good way to show kind of what you are capable of as a driver. And then when you get the invite, it has a little bit more meaning to it.
It's working your way through the ranks just like all the drivers do in real life. You don't just, jump on the track with Jeff Gordon because you can drive on a simulator. Or you get what I mean? Like, you can't just jump in head first into a 2-foot pond. You got to kind of get your feet wet first. So it's good to find out other drivers' driving style, how they handle the 3-wide action, how they handle the old bumpy Daytona. Are they all over the place? Can they keep the line? It's a good way to learn who you're racing, who you can push, who's willing to make bold moves. So great little thing they got going with the 2 feeder series, the proving grounds, if you will.
If you guys would like to join the OP Racing, you can find them underneath iRacing League tabs. Make sure you join them, send them a league request, and they will get back to you and get you into the appropriate night of racing. And then nothing more would make me happier than to get to talk about you guys on a Monday night. I don't know about you, Dave, but this OP Racing, guys, on Monday night, it's something I look forward to each and every week, because the show they put on is always a phenomenal show.
It sure is, and we're getting a little bit of a smoke show down there in the grass and on pit road. The drivers lighting it up, having a little bit of fun with this final race, giving some of the fans in the stands something more to look at. Not very many drivers are out there on track, so having a little fun. Good to see drivers in good spirits working into this race.
Absolutely. The drivers are going through a little bit of a drivers meeting right now. That's why most of them are off the track. Some of them are on the track goofing off a little bit, but for the most part, drivers trying to pay attention to what's being said by race control. Will Weber in the 23 machine getting pounded as he is sporting some new colors here tonight. Turn 3 Racing Network all over that machine. Will, thank you very much for running our logos here tonight. We hope that brings you some good luck in tonight's race.
I hope that's not a Clemson orange on that car, because I'm gonna have to hope it crashes if it does. Roll Tide. Just gonna use that little second for a plug there, KR. Appreciate it.
Speaking of plugs, I told Alliance Motorsports drivers, normally I crack a beer for Mark Mann, but tonight this beer is for the Alliance Motorsports drivers. So here we go. Let's go get after it here tonight. As the warm-up session is done and over with, it is time to go racing. Our lineup was set by the duels that we ran last Monday night. Dave, you almost won the first duel, and I ended up winning the second one. That was a good night for us to get out there and race with the drivers we talk about.
Man, it was some of the best fun I've had in a very, very long time. I wish the races were a little bit longer, but yeah, it was good to get out there for, at the end of the day, 60 laps with these OP Racing Super Speedway guys, and there's a reason why it's so much fun here in the booth, because it's that much fun on track.
Time to go through our starting lineup here tonight. Row number 1, Rick Seabrands in the 4 machine, James Mayer in the 95. Those are your front 2 points earners for the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Our lineup for the first 4 cars are our 4 championship drivers. Everyone else was set by the duels. Row number 2, Hunter Reynolds and Josh Milam. Row 3, the 62 of Les Levy and the 40 of Anthony English. Row 4, the 82 of Daniel Harrington and David Booth in the 77 machine. Row 5, the 15 of Alex Green and the 11 of Chase Berry.
Starting in row number 6, the 24 of Will Weber. Outside row 6, Tristan Walker. In the 12, row 7, the 8 of Cody Ober. The 10 of Robert Duvendak. Row number 8, the 02 of David Overstreet, and the 04 of Mark Mann. Row number 9, the 35 of Doug Rice, and the 89 of Ken McCullough Jr. Row number 10, the 22 of Eric Carlin, 51 of Travis Elliott.
Row 11 will be the 2 machine of David McCullough and the 1 of Mark Vega, and that will make up our 22 car field here tonight as we get ready to go green flag racing. Our 4 championship contenders starting on the first 2 rows. They have the benefit of clean air, but we all know anything can happen in these 100 laps getting ready to take place here at Daytona. 2 green-white checkered attempts if we need them. 1 fast repair for all the drivers out there tonight. Here we go as the pace car gets ready to peel off. The green flag falling for the final time to kick this race off on this season. And away we go as Rick Seabrands and James Mayer kick it off side by side. Hunter Reynolds wasting no time getting to the back bumper of Rick. He is going to push him as hard as he can, but Josh Milam returning the favor to the 95 of James Mayer as we kick this race off. You can already see that inside lane having some advantage.
Inside lane has the advantage now, working down the backstretch. Outside, creeping back up slowly. Milam with a great push down that backstretch on the 95 of Mayer. Have Anthony English starting to creep his way back up towards that rear bumper of the 7. So look for that outside lane. Start making the momentum and start trying to push their way to the lead. Have to see who crosses the line first. I believe Seabrands is going to barely edge out Mayer on that outside lane. We go back to turn number 1.
Laps led do not matter here. It all comes down to where you finish. And that is all that matters to our championship 4. They have got to beat their other 3 competitors if they want to win this championship. So they are racing 3 cars respectively, but they still have to deal with the rest of the field. And I'll tell you, that 62 machine of Les Levy, he is hungry for a win. And he is sitting right there as the 3rd car on the inside lane. The 40 machine on his outside, that is Anthony English. He is another driver that is going to be one to watch here. These guys all looking to play spoiler to our championship contenders and steal a win away the last race of the season.
Absolutely, KR. We got a race within a race. Within a race, basically, if that makes any logical sense. I mean, you got the best of the rest. You got the race win. You got the championship 4. I mean, things could possibly get crazy. 3 wide, they touch Mark Vega. I think that was back there. A little bit of contact with, I did not see the card number because I can't really see. I can't really talk either sometimes, so it equals out.
It's all fun and games until someone goes spinning and then the yellow comes out. Starting to see a little bit of action. 3 wide at the back. I'm not sure who was up there. That is the 40 machine of Anthony English riding along the wall. Going to tuck down behind Eric Carline in the 22 machine.
And up front, your 4 championship contenders have not made any ground, went anywhere. Still your top 4 outside lane led by Mayer with a push from Milam. But Rick Seabrand still leading the pack. Hunter Reynolds just behind him. The 62 of Les Levy is still right there. David Booth also right there, third car outside lane. Now that outside lane starts to pick up some ground, starting to make the push towards the front. Ken Mayer clear, not quite yet, as Seabrands is going to get a push from Reynolds halfway down the backstretch.
Reynolds in the 26. Josh Milam in the 7. Both drivers from the Fuel Sim Racing stable. Jimmy Mayer in the 95. Rick Seabrands in the 4. Drivers from Alliance Motorsports, as Hunter Reynolds is going to make a move to the outside. He's going to try and make something happen here. He's had enough of following behind the 4, but it is a tale of two teams, two drivers in each of these two teams for this championship battle. We'll see these drivers work together, but for the most part, right now they have just kind of been divided. It has been almost every man for himself. We are working lap 6 of 100. Stage 1 gonna end on lap 25 here tonight when they cross the start-finish line.
Getting with that stage end being 25 laps, you're gonna have to pit. There's no way you can possibly stretch it. I believe everybody would come down pit road should that dreaded yellow flag fly. So a little bit of strategy gonna have to go into winning stage number 1. But as we alluded to earlier, you know, winning the stage here doesn't matter for those top 4 championship contenders. So don't really know who's gonna go with who. I believe teammates will try to hook up with teammates at some point here, KR, but still very, very early in the race. Only lap 7 out of 100 here. So long way to go. We'll have to just sit here and wait.
As we go on board with the 95 of James Mayer, he is tucked in behind the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. James Mayer from Alliance Motorsports, Hunter Reynolds from Fuel Sim Racing. For the most part, nobody has had an opening outside of Hunter Reynolds. He was the only one that has made a move so far, and he made a move to the outside lane. Other than that, our championship 4 really haven't changed positions as to where they run on the track.
And I think they're employing the strategy of if you're in front of it, you can't be in it, by staying up here at the front, not dropping back to the back. I might play it a little safe if I was one of them and just go to the back and hang out for a while. But this goes to show you can't do that here in OP Racing if you think you're going to win a championship. These drivers still swapping it back and forth. There's only one lead change, but they are nosing ahead of each other 3-4 times a lap.
Yeah, the lead change only registers at the start-finish line, but we have seen these guys really mix it up time and time again down the backstretch, through the corners, and it really is going to be pretty much who blinks first, who is going to flinch, who is going to have an issue. One driver heading for pit road, that is the 89 of Ken McCullough Jr., trying to get out of the way of this lead field. McCullough Jr. now going to be 1 lap down. He does have the scheduled caution at lap 25 to getting back on the lead lap.
Right now, KR, the man I'm watching is just behind all these leaders. That one of Mark Vega, he's been poking his right side out from behind David Booth, looking to go 3 wide, I think, but I don't think he has anybody to go with him. There he goes, making another move to the outside.
Yeah, Mark Vega is trying to get that outside to work. He's got a little bit of momentum on his side, but he does tuck in behind the 77. But yeah, sometimes you got to make that move. You got to move out to that third lane, see if anyone's going to go with you. And if there is a gap to the car behind you, you know, you don't really lose anything if you can drop back down in line before you have another car try and fill the hole you've vacated.
And up front, Hunter Reynolds has finally passed Rick Seabrands, but look for Seabrands to possibly duck back out there like Hunter Reynolds did to pick up his teammate. This could get a little interesting here.
We do have 3 cars on pit road. Chase Berry, Tristan Walker, and Travis Elliott. These 3 cars all hitting pit road from JSI Motorsports. A little bit of pit strategy coming into play as we see some 3 wide action now as the 1 of Mark Vega and the 24 of Will Weber. Now Cody Ober going to join them. 3 cars in that outside lane.
And I can see it happening. I said it a minute ago. Mark Vega looking to go 3 wide. He has help now. Starting to stall out just a little bit. Car on the apron. They're going to go around him without any issues. 3 cars lined up front against the double file leaders, the chase contenders, all about to be 3 wide in just a second going into turn number 1. Vegas splitting bumpers with that inside lane. Now has the momentum on the corner exit. He's going to pull even with Mayer on the outside. Seabrands down low on that 3 wide. Now the top 6, 9, all 3 wide going down into turn 3.
3 wide action working through turns 3 and 4 with pit stops starting to be something to think about here. Within the next few laps, all these drivers are going to have to pit. How is this going to play out now that we're seeing some 3 wide action? Mark Vega, Will Weber, and Cody Ober, they're going to have to figure out how to get down to pit lane. They could end up being stuck on that outside, and the possibility exists that they can miss their pit stop window.
Yeah, it could happen, but it may be a calculated move here. As I said already, at least twice, kind of a race within a race. If one of these best of the rest drivers, as it's been said earlier in the week, if one of them win the stage, that could put them at possibly moving up inside the top 5 in the points, maybe top 10. So points matter for some of these drivers, not so much for your chase or championship contenders. And that 3 wide has now fizzled completely out. Looks like drivers are starting to line up on that inside lane. So within the next few laps, we can expect green flag pit stops to take place. Mayer and Milam still holding strong on that outside line. Hunter Reynolds, followed by Rick Seabrands, trying to get back to the front on the bottom out of 4.
We do have 2 cars that are off of the lead lap. Chase Berry, he is 1 lap down, running around in 21st spot. The 11 machine made his pit stop, but it looks like he has lost the lead draft here. He is floundering. He needs the help of the stage caution. Get back on the lead lap. The other one, that is the 89 machine, running in 22nd place. That is Ken McCullough Jr. He is 2 laps down. So a very uphill battle, so to speak, for the 89 early on here tonight.
Yeah, tough luck here tonight for McCullough. KR, at the end of this green flag pit stop here, you think there may be anything going on, any communication to try to leave Milam back there stuck behind Mayer? The gap looks like it's starting to open up right there behind Seabrands, but Levy is gonna close it, so never mind, forget that strategy. I was thinking maybe hang one of your guys out there, where he gets stuck. You guys get to pit with everybody else.
All right, guys, pay attention here. Green flag pit stops. Really, either this lap or the next lap. Things are about to get busy on pit road. Who is going to make the break? No one this time, so be expecting a lot of drivers on the pit road in the next lap. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 machine. He has been out front for 11 laps here tonight. Points do not matter for our championship 4. That is Hunter Reynolds in the 26, the 4 of Rick Seabrands, the 95 of James Mayer, and the 7 of Josh Milam, and all 4 drivers sitting inside the top 5. That 62 machine of Les Levy. He is looking to play spoiler here tonight. He would love to win this race and kind of wave his finger in front of all of our championship 4 drivers and say, hey, y'all got away with one here tonight.
Not today is what Les Levy wants to say to these guys, and pit stops have began. Looks like the entire field on pit road at the same time here. I don't think we've seen that one before.
No, and Les Levy had a hard time getting onto pit road, locked his brakes up, went around and made contact with James Mayer in the 95, and James Mayer is able to get into his pit stall, but that is going to leave the 4 of Rick Seabrands and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds with clean air getting away. Josh Milam now moves into 3rd, but James Mayer in the 95, he has lost a whole lot of ground as we have a few cars spinning. That is the 2 of David McCullough and the 15 of Alex Green. But James Mayer in the 95, a little bit of damage on that machine now, and he has got an uphill battle here as we are on lap 19 of 100. So pit stops not being kind to the 95 machine.
That green flag pit stop was not very well orchestrated by a lot of drivers, but look at those 2 teammates motoring right on past Rick Seabrands. This could be bad for Seabrands if he can't get a hold and stay a hold of their draft. Hunter Reynolds now being scored as your race leader. Drivers that had already pitted, Christian Walker and Travis Elliott in the 51, they're slowly making their gains. So they're going to be back with a head full of steam. I don't think they're going to be able to run down these guys, these championship 3 now up front.
We're working lap 20 of 25 here in stage number 1. Have had no cautions here yet. We've been green flag racing since the start of this race. And Hunter Reynolds out front with his teammate Josh Milam right behind him. And we talked about it briefly about how teammates can make a difference, and Fuel Sim Racing showing just how important that is. Rick Seabrands all by himself right now as James Mayer had issues on his pit stop. Rick has got to figure out what to do with these 2 drivers. However, keep in mind, we are going to end this stage at lap 25. Stage points do not matter. It comes down to where you finish tonight's race. So James Mayer has plenty of opportunity. Get caught up, get back into this thing. Right now, James finding himself riding around in 6th place. The top 3 have pulled away for the moment.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you're Rick Seabrands at this point, I think you're just stuck riding behind these 2 teammates. Because even if you do get a great run, I don't think you're going to be able to get past 2 cars that stay tucked up with each other. And if you duck out there, I mean, I wouldn't leave my teammate at this point in time. So there's really nowhere but right here for Rick Seabrands to go. And those championship 3, I mean, they put a hurting on the field on that green flag pit stop over 6 seconds back to Tristan Walker and Daniel Harrington.
Yeah, they really opened up a gap during that green flag pit stop cycle, and we saw some issues with David McCullough and Alex Green that did allow these 3 drivers to get pulled away. Meanwhile, James Mayer in the 95 machine, he is in a bit of a battle right now as he is on that high side. He is running around in 9th place, tucked in behind the 51 of Travis Elliott. Whereas the 3 drivers In the top three, they have clean air. They got all the room they want. James Mayer, surrounded by cars right now. He's not able to breathe easy. Hunter Reynolds, Josh Milam, Rick Seabrands, they could just run single file right here and not force the issue and bring an end to stage number one. We are in the final lap of stage one.
Yeah, and it looks like these Championship 3 are exactly where they want to be, exactly where they started. That is up front, leading this field. May we see some bragging rights here? Could Milam jump out and try to get a run off of Reynolds here? Still, I mean, stage one doesn't matter to him, but now it looks like he's going to just stay tucked up. Late move, not going to be enough. Stage one comes to an end. Hunter Reynolds gets the job done.
Hunter Reynolds winning stage one as the yellow flag flies, signaling that season 3 for the OP Racing is down to 2 more stages. Hunter Reynolds does make a statement by winning the first stage. Josh Milam, his teammate, tucked in right behind him for that one, and Rick Seabrands right there in third. This battle is far from over, guys. We got a lot of racing to go here tonight. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as drivers have hit pit road. Be serviced by their pit crews. 4 tires for our drivers. Down and away goes the Ford machine of Rick Seabrands. Hunter Reynolds in the 26. Looks like he was able to beat him off of pit lane. Josh Milam coming off in third. See if we can't get a quick word in with our stage 1 winner. That is the 26 machine of Hunter Reynolds. So give us just a moment. Let's see if Hunter has his ears on. Hunter, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much. That 26 machine winning stage number 1 here tonight. Now we know stage does not matter to you as far as for winning the championship. But what does this mean to you as a driver here in the final race?
I don't. It kind of shows we're doing all right so far. I had some computer issues before. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it, but we were able to get through it. And this 26 is a hot rod tonight.
Well, we've seen you had your teammate tucked in behind you there after the green flag pit stops. How important is it that you have your teammate Josh Milam right there with you, and now you're seeing the 4 of Rick Seabrands without his teammate, James Mayer.
Yeah, I think it'll help us out a good bit during the course of this race. Once we get down to the last couple laps, so if it's me and him, we're duking it out. So, but he's good to have during the race, definitely, to stay up front.
All right, Hunter. Now, I did this for Alliance Motorsports, but I'm going to do it for Fuel Sim Racing. Hunter Reynolds, Josh Milam. Guys, this one's for you. Good luck out there. Have some fun, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was Hunter Reynolds picking up stage win number 1, but keep in mind, points do not matter for our Championship 4. It is all how they finish the race here tonight. And Dave, stage 1 did not disappoint.
No, it didn't. Cena first time, basically the entire field on pit road at once. Then we seen multiple incidents on pit road. One involving a championship contender. His car is looking a little worse for the wear. As long as he stays in the draft, he should be all right. Your other championship 3, right up there up front where they started from. So, no real fuel strategy just yet. Haven't seen any pushing issues, any temperature problems out of the cars so far here tonight. So, stage 2 could get a little bit more dicey, a little more edgy, because might possibly be able to stretch this thing. You come back down and top it off, as I believe Hunter Reynolds has done. May be able to make it all the way to the end of stage 2 off of one stop right here.
Yeah, it will be a stretch, but it is possible, especially if you get the help from a yellow. James Mayer also hitting pit road this time. That will give the lead to the 4 machine of Rick Seabrands, as the lights have gone out on the pace car. And now the 4 has no championship contenders around him. That might change his mindset a little bit here, knowing that he just has to get through stage 2 riding around and not losing a whole lot of ground. His competitors, on the other hand, they've got to make up some lost ground. So the pressure for the moment is off on the 4 machine, and it is now placed squarely on the shoulders of Hunter Reynolds, Josh Milam, and James Mayer to respond.
I don't know, KR. I think maybe it's a calculated move. Go ahead, come down pit road, get enough gas to get to the stage end, stay back behind the field, and then go smash the gas the last 50 laps of this thing. Still got a fast repair in the bag as well. That's when you can go to the front, make your moves.
Now, speaking of fast repairs, James Mayer has not used his. He sat on pit road, hammered out some damage. That 95 machine looking pretty square right now. He might be able to get back into this fight before the end of stage 2. But here we go. Lights are out on the pace car. Field getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Stage 2 underway as the green flag flies. Rick Seabrands pulling away from the 12 machine of Tristan Walker.
Easily to the point is Rick Seabrands. Walker comes down, takes that second position on the inside lane. That's going to leave Doug Rice in the 35 out there on the outside. Cody Ober is a good car back, but he is coming up fast to help Doug Rice. They're going to be side by side going into turn 3 with Seabrands. We'll have to see if he can lead it back to the line, or will that outside lane have the momentum and prevail, as Mark Vega has now joined them, as well as Alex Green out there on that outside lane, motoring on along. But Rick Seabrands has it, is running the yellow line to the line. Still your race leader, Rick Seabrands, as they go back to turn number 1.
Down into turn 1 they go. Seabrands with the lead. Doug Rice in the 35 machine. Lead car in that outside lane. Doug was a playoff contender, so he has the requirements, the necessary skill, the everything you'd like out of a driver to win this race. But that 35 machine got eliminated due to the fact that he was unable to compete in a race. I believe it was because of work. He was out of town for that. So tough luck for Doug Rice, but man, what could have been for the 35 machine. And if he can stay out front, maybe win this race, he can hang his hat on something to say, hey, I might have missed an important race during the season, but I still won the race during the championship night.
And the one of Mark Vega there, KR, he almost hung something up, but it was the car on the fence there. Big wiggle, big moment for that outside lane as they all checked up. That's going to send Doug Rice back to at least the 5th spot, now slotted in on that inside lane just behind the 77 David Booth, as up front Tristan Walker, a chase contender. He goes to the front and pit stops underway for some of your leaders. Looks like Rick Seabrands, I believe that's Mayer back there as well.
Yeah, James Mayer hitting pit road, Robert Duvendak and Rick Seabrands making their pit stops for stage 2. That should give them enough fuel to make it to the end of stage 2. Now we see a battle between the 8 and the 12. You also have on pit road, or I'm sorry, not Josh Milam. Josh Milam is out there with Hunter Reynolds. They are still driving around. They're at the back of this lead pack for the moment.
Yeah, and 3 wide beginning to happen as more cars duck off the pit road. Looks like Hunter Reynolds and James Milam, or Josh Milam, I'm sorry. They may have pulled the move here for stage 2. They're going to have enough fuel, I do believe, to make it to the end. 2 wide, 3 rows. Man, I'm ridiculous.
Yeah, they're going to be cutting it really close on fuel. However, they do have the advantage of having cars in front of them. They can save some fuel by not having to run wide open, can modulate the throttle, save a little fuel by doing that. The 26 and the 7, though, now leading the championship contenders, but they are in a mess of cars. As we see, it is still not necessarily a clean break for the 26 and the 7. They've got to deal with all these cars around them.
And that's what I'm more worried about than anything right now. If I am Milam or Reynolds, is these drivers right here, they're not running for the championship. They're just running for a race win to be the best of the rest. And they may make some bold moves at a time when you're just not ready for them. And you could end up in a big one should it take place right in front of you. So sketchy moments here in the next few laps for your championship 2, running just inside, I believe, the top 10.
We want to point out the 89 of Ken McCullough Jr. He is the last car on the lead lap. He is battling to get back into this race, and he is doing what he needs to do right now to make that happen. Our race leader is being scored as the 12 of Tristan Walker. Cody Ober in the 8 on his outside. Spectacular paint job by the 11 of Chase Berry, sitting as the 3rd car in the inside lane. Right now he's looking to move into 2nd place as he noses ahead of Cody Ober. Now the 12 of Tristan Walker moves to the outside lane. Chase Berry in the 11 machine, gonna work with the 89 of McCullough. So the battle for the race lead really heating up. Meanwhile, the 26 and the 7 are inching closer to the front of this field.
And we still have about 13 laps left before the stage end. Looking at the fuel, and I don't think these drivers right here, Chase Berry, Christian Walker, I don't think they're actually gonna be able to make it. It's gonna be really, really close for Hunter Reynolds and those guys. So fuel strategy may end up playing the factor of who wins stage number 2 here. So something new within this race already again. Fuel mileage being thrown at us.
Chase Berry in the 11, he's going to make a move to the outside of the 89 of Ken McCullough, as we are looking at 12 laps to go in stage 2. Stage 2 ending on lap 50 when they cross the start-finish line. And Ken McCullough would like to have his lap back the hard way, but he would be in a battle with Will Weber and David Booth to be the first car one lap down. Chase Berry and the 11 machine does drop down in front of the 89. The 89 saying, no, I do want to get this lap back my own. I don't want to rely on the free pass. Slides up to the high side. He's got the 12 of Tristan Walker now working with him. And the 89 just hoping to get out front and be the first one across the start-finish line when stage 2 ends. That would put him as the last car on the lead lap, as he is out by a car length now in front of the 11. The 12 gonna drop down, the 89 drop down as a pair. Chase Berry in the 11 machine now sitting in second. He's gonna make a move to the high side. The 12 of Tristan Walker gonna throw the block, gonna try and use that momentum. The 89 has no one on his back bumper. Here comes the 82 machine of Daniel Harrington to his back bumper, but not before the 12 of Tristan Walker can drop down.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Ken McCullough, who's up there trying to race his way back onto the lead lap, now being scored one lap down once again, as Tristan Walker has been able to make his way by him. McCullough jumps back to the outside once again, trying to get himself back on the lead lap the hard way. He is going to need a caution in order for this to work out. He's going to have to pit for the end of this stage, and that may end up not working out for him. I think he's going to end up caught one lap down. If Rick Seabrands and those guys are able to catch up and pass these drivers that still need to pit.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers here in this lead pack will have to make a break for pit road, but they are waiting till the last minute to do it. Our drivers who have pitted, we check in on them. Robert Dumendak in the 10 machine. He is leading that group of drivers. The 04, Mark Mann. The 95 of James Mayer. He is right there, third car in this line. Doug Rice, Les Levy, the 02 machine of David Overstreet. Anthony English in the 40, and then the 4 machine of Rick Seabrands, bringing up the tail end of this group of drivers who have hit pit road, so they are set to make it to the end of this stage.
And about half of your leaders there decided to come back down pit road. Looks like Hunter Reynolds is on pit road, Josh Milam on pit road, Christian Walker on pit road. So, and Walker, a little bit of troubles in the pit stop. That's going to cost him some time. And things are happening quick here.
Yep, fuel only for most of these drivers. The 82 of Daniel Harrington now scored as your race leader. When will he make the break for pit road? The 89 of Ken McCullough, last car on the lead lap. He stays out, not making his pit stop just yet. That 89 does not have the fuel to make it to the end of this stage, but he is doing what he needs to do to stay in this race. And right now, he is the last car on the lead lap. Daniel Harrington, Cody Ober running first and second in the 82 and 8. The 2 machine of David Bacola rounding out your top 3. Our top 5 for the moment look like the 4th place is going to go to the 15 of Alex Green, and then Mark Vega in the 1 machine will round out our top 5 for the moment, as we got a few drivers hitting pit road. That's going to change it up a little bit here.
And watching that lead pack now developing, coming down the backstretch, I believe Harrington, Ober, Green, Vega, they will all still need to hit pit road. Mark Mann, James Mayer leading that.
Oh, we got a
group of
wreck
cars
on the backstretch. And that does involve one of our chase drivers, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, going around as he is in the grass on the backstretch, the yellow flag coming out. But Hunter Reynolds able to grab a gear and get rolling, but trouble for one of our championship contenders. Let's back this
some
up.
bad time too.
Go to our turn 3 instant replay here. The 26 going through the grass, so does the 4 of Rick Sebrands. Take another look at it. The 26 does not get to the back bumper very square of the 40. Looked like the 40 was maybe moving back and forth a little bit. The 4 machine of Rick Sebrands slowed down the backstretch. Not sure contact was made with the 4. I think he was just taking evasive action. Little bit of contact between the 4 and the 26 there. The 2 championship contenders getting involved in a yellow flag here. Oh man.
Yeah, KR. Now, as I was gonna say, it's kind of some bad timing for that caution to fly when it did, because now we're right at the stage end. Are they gonna extend this, give us a green-white checker to determine who wins stage number 2? Or are we gonna stay under caution to the end of stage number 2 and then get going green flag racing from there?
Race control has told me that the stage winner is the 82 of Daniel Harrington.
Well, there you have it. We're not left wondering at all. So, stage is over. Do you need to rethink your pit strategy now? Because now you're going to have to go a lap or 2 further in this final stage. So, KR, do you think that's going to change the pit strategy here, whether you try to go long or short?
It's going to change it up a little bit, but not a lot, because everyone knows stage 3 is the longest stage here in OP racing. Everyone knows you got at least 2 pit stops in this stage, so maybe even a few cautions. I would say that everyone kind of just plans to get to stage 3 as quickly as possible, and then you set yourself up to be there for the long haul in the final stage.
Yeah, I tend to try to be the fastest slow driver out there, if that makes any logical sense.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's see if we can't get a quick word in with the driver of the 7 machine. That is Josh Milam. Josh, you got your ears on?
I do. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. As a chase contender, how is your race going here tonight?
Going good. It's been a very clean race. Looking to keep it that way. Very unfortunate event just happened there, and I managed to escape that. Take it into pits here. Probably got a few seconds of damage, but other than that, it's been a good race so far.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go down pit road. Good luck out there tonight.
I appreciate it, guys.
I did not realize that he was coming down pit road. Don't want to interrupt him. 26 Hunter Reynolds on pit road as well. Let's see if we can't talk to another chase contender. That is the driver of the 4 machine, Rick Seabrands. Rick, you got your ears on?
Yeah, 10-4, loud and clear.
All right, Rick, that 4 machine out there for a championship race. You're finding yourself right now mired a little bit deep in the field. You've had a stage 2 where you had to come from behind a little bit. Stage 1, you were out front. How is stage 3 going to be for you?
I think it's just about to get real good out here, man. We hated that I had to take evasive maneuvers there to take this Yeti Alliance Motorsports Camaro down through the grass there, but not sure what happened up there to get everybody out of shape there. Hope the 26 car's all right, but yeah, hopefully we didn't get too much splitter damage with that. It's always kind of concerned the way these cars kind of dig in, but guys do a great job on the pits. They put some tape on the grill. Hopefully got her all fixed up, and we should be able to maintain here. Hopefully get some green flag laps in.
All right, Rick, stage 3 is going to be a long one with this caution falling and the stage being declared official. So stage 3 is going to have a lot of laps in it. How does this factor into your strategy?
Well, that's the thing. We want to try and keep this Yeti Camaro up front as much as we can, because it's not quite dark yet in the setup that we have in. It's making these cars move around a little bit more than they're used to. So I mean, once the track gets cooled off and shaded up real good, these cars will be gripping. We should be able to make a little bit more ground, but track position late, I think, is going to be pretty much key here.
All right, Rick, well, good luck out there on the rest of the race. Before we let you go, shout outs and thank yous.
Yeah, just everybody at Alliance Motorsports, all my teammates, Alex, Cody, everybody that does what they do here for OP, and you guys for bringing it to the fans.
That is Rick Seabrands, driver of the 4 machine, one of our championship contenders. You know, I don't normally wish for some yellows, but I hope we get a few more yellows. Maybe get a couple more words in with the 95 of James Mayer and the 7 of Josh Milam, 26 of Hunter Reynolds. We haven't got to talk to them a whole lot because, well, we've been under green flag a lot.
Oh, I know at this point in time, Hunter Reynolds would probably be glad to talk to you and see one of those cautions fly, as after that contact, he does find himself 1 lap down. So he's going to need some help to get back on the lead lap, get back in contention for this championship. But KR, we got a new leader up there up front, the 8 of Cody Ober. So I haven't seen him up front very much during the race. Made his way up there in stage 2. See what he does here on this restart.
Cody Ober in the 8, Mark Vega in the 1, going to make up row number 1 for this restart. Daniel Harrington, our stage 2 winner, and Alex Green in the 15, row number 2. Green flag is out, and here we go once again to start stage 3, the final stage in the season for OP Racing Super Speedway Series, as the drivers make their way into turns 1 and 2. I have my shoes on, leave me alone. Counting is hard. And Cody Ober has the lead.
Fastest lap in history at Daytona. We're already back down the back stretch again, KR. And Mark Vega with a move to the outside. One of your championship contenders right there as well. James Mayer, 3rd in line on that bottom lane. Long way to go back before the help gets to the rear end of Mark Vega. Cody Ober gonna cross the line. Still your race leader. Daniel Harrington in the 82 still pushing as they head back into turn 1.
Cody Ober leading Daniel Harrington in the 82, but James Mayer right now in the 95 machine. He is leading our championship 4. If the checkered flag flew right now, he would be your championship winner for the season. Rick Seabrands in the 4, not too far behind him. He's got some laps to work with here. We got quite a bit of laps left to go racing. We also are going to see a few more pit stops, so anything can happen here but the 95 leading our championship contenders for the moment.
Speaking of championship contenders, you have Hunter Reynolds just in front of Josh Milam back there in the back of the field. And Hunter Reynolds being scored one lap down. I know you want to help your teammate out and try to battle it out at the end. If something were to happen right now, you could see two teammates taking out of the chance for the championship.
Yeah, with this caution, this stage-ending caution, really bunching the field back up once again. I feel that FSR, their mission is to try and get the 26 on the lead lap. That is going to do two things. If Josh Milam works with the 26, gets him back on the lead lap, that is going to pull the 7 of Josh Milam to the front of the field. So these two drivers really are going to be the ones to watch, as they are both on a mission to get to the front of the field, although for two very different reasons.
Different reasons indeed, KR. And up front, Mark Vega, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
All right, well, you are definitely fired.
I couldn't help myself, man.
But the 26 and the 7 find themselves in a quagmire right now, as we're seeing 3 wide racing through the tri-oval. The 2 of David McCullough and the 89 of Ken McCullough starting to work in that third lane. White Trash Racing making its presence felt. Ken McCullough spent the first stage and a majority of the second stage trying to be back in this race. He has done it, and he is making his presence felt with his teammate David McCullough, as they are now battling for the race lead.
Yeah, Ken McCullough trying to get David McCullough to the lead up front. That's going to allow him to be the first car one lap down. So he is in front of Hunter Reynolds right now. So that is another battle within this race already. 3 wide. Oh, David McCullough down to the inside lane. That's going to give that outside lead position to Ken McCullough, as he's going to work his way down the back stretch and in front of the field. Great push. I can't see the car number right there. I believe that may be Chase Berry that pushed him to the front. Huge push. Now Walker pushing on the rear of Berry. 3 wide for the second position. Ken McCullough now leading the field. He has made his way back to the front and back on the lead lap.
Yeah, Ken McCullough still struggling to get back into contention for leading this race. He is now once again scored as the last car on the lead lap. But that 89 machine has been running in front of this lead pack so long that I kind of just assumed he was on the lead lap.
I mean, he might as well be. He's led more laps than the leader. But wait, can you do that?
Well, I mean, he has crossed the start-finish line in front of everyone more than anyone else. Does that count?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
So the 89 still struggling to try and make up one full lap. For the moment, he is on the lead lap, just ahead of our race leader, Mark Vega, in the 1 machine. The 2 of David McCullough sliding into second spot, and the 8 of Cody Ober, as now the 1's going to move up to the high side. That is going to put White Trash Racing down on the bottom. The 89 and the 2 working together. Here comes the 15 of Alex Green. He is going to make the charge to the race lead. For the moment, Mark Vega in the 1, gonna tuck in behind him, Cody Ober by himself along the wall.
Power move through that middle lane for Alex Green in the 15. Guys left the door open a lap or 2 in a row, and Alex Green just said, all right, you gonna leave the door open? He drove his way straight through it, straight to the front, now leading that outside lane in the second position. David McCullough right there on the inside now. Alex pulling even with Ken McCullough. Alex taking over the race lead. Will he still have it as we cross the line? And KR, something I'm noticing on a few of these cars out there, rear end damage around that spoiler. Maybe these guys are pushing a little harder than they usually do.
Yeah, a lot of drivers pushing very hard out here tonight. Everyone knows it's a final race. We're going to take a bit of a break between seasons. We're going to have a few weeks off and then get back after it. But these drivers all would like to end this season on a high note. And for the moment, the 26th and the 7 are really starting to work their way to the front of the field. The 26, Hunter Reynolds, 1 lap down, but he is trying to put himself in position to either be the first car 1 lap down or see himself in front of this field when the caution flag flies.
The trouble he has right now, though, is that 89 KR. Ken McCullough still up there trying to do it the hard way. That last lap, he barely had a nose in front of his teammate who he scored on the lead lap, but he's made a move from the middle to the bottom, back to the middle as he drops back to the bottom again. Mark Vega up the track just a little bit, almost into Chase Berry out there on that 3rd lane. Now Ken McCullough purely on the lead lap. Middle lane now just down to being the outside lane. 2 lanes starting to go. Drivers snaking just a little bit as they go back to turn 1, and KR pit stops maybe looming as it looks like a lot of drivers trying to get down to that inside lane already.
Yeah, pit stop's not too far away as the field works its way down the backstretch as the sun begins to set here at Daytona. This race started with the sun high up in the sky, and it will end with it in darkness. The lights coming on the track here in just a few more laps. And you're right, we're not too far away from green flag pit stops. That will shake this field up once again as the drivers all try and scramble and find some room to hit pit road.
And I tell you what, if I'm Milam right now, some of the moves being made up front might make me a little weary of being where I'm at. I understand, you want to stay on the lead lap, work as hard as you can, but some of the moves might get a little bit sketched out from as McCullough jumped up to block the run by the 15 in that outside lane. He carried them around David McCullough and back to the bottom outside lane, pulling even now with the 89. So big momentum from that outside lane, actually, as I believe that is going to put Mark Vega into the race lead.
Mark Vega scored as the race leader, working his way, coming off a turn number 2 down the backstretch. Chase Berry and the 11 machine. He's going to get a good shove from the 02 of David Overstreet. And now the 11 of Chase Berry has the race lead. Will he drop down? And he does drop down to the inside lane. David Overstreet now leading the charge in the outside lane. Here comes the 77 of David Booth. David Booth is 1 lap down in that 77 machine. He is now scored as the first car 1 lap down, stealing it away from Ken McCullough and our championship contender, Hunter Reynolds. The 26 finding himself mired deep right now, trying to be the first car 1 lap down, and he has got some work to do in order to pull that off.
Yes, he does. And your other championship contenders have a little bit of work cut out for them as well. Rick Seabrands in the 4, all the way back in the 16th position. Then you have to find James Mayer in that 95 and 12th. Josh Milam is running 10th right here up near the pack. But all of your chase championship contenders are back in traffic at this point in time, coming down to the final laps. I mean, we still got about, what is that, 30 something. Let's just leave it there. So work cut out for all of them.
Yeah, pit stops about ready to take place. We're probably going to see a few cars hit pit road this time, and if not this time, for sure the next lap around. But here we go. A lot of drivers peeling off. Chase Berry from the race lead. The 12 machine gonna join him. The 26 of Hunter Reynolds also hitting pit road, along with the 7 of Josh Milam. Out on track, our championship contenders staying out there. That is the 4 of Rick Seabrands and the 95 of James Mayer. They're not gonna hit pit road yet, but I believe they are gonna have to hit pit road this time around, and it is gonna be a very busy pit road on this lap.
Yes, it will, because they are right on the edge. Oh, trouble up front. Oh, they save it. No, outside.
Ooh, Daniel Harrington going around. He's going to make contact with James Mayer and Rick Seabrands. Yellow flag going to come out. We have a few cars who were sideways and out of control. And Daniel Harrington in the 82 machine was one of those drivers. And the yellow flag is going to fly during a green flag pit stop cycle as the 02 and the 82 make contact coming off a turn 3 or 4. Harrington goes around. Les Levy getting involved. And man, Daniel Harrington was just along for the ride and got airborne. We'll take another look at it here. Right in front of 2 chase contenders. The 82 goes around, but man, that is gonna really change things up for our green flag pit stop cycle. The 22 machine of Eric Carline scored as our race leader. So here we go. Pit stops happening under yellow. The 02 of David Overstreet onto pit road. The 2 of David McCullough. James Mayer, Rick Seabrands, all these drivers hitting pit road. I, for one, don't know how this is going to play out for our drivers who hit pit road before. 26 of Hunter Reynolds, the one I'm really paying attention to. And I think he is going to be the one that is really going to suffer from this pit stop. He was on pit road just the lap before this yellow came out.
Yeah, trying to look through the timing and scoring and everything right now, and it looks like Hunter Reynolds is actually just behind Will Weber on track behind that pace car. And all these drivers that pitted just then, they're gonna be behind them, so Hunter Reynolds may end up looking good on this, getting lucky with the caution there. I mean, he should get a wave around here and it should end up putting him right there with his teammate again.
Yeah, as we look at how the field is coming around, Eric Carline in the 22 scored as our race leader. He has been on and off pit road. That means that the 26 and the 24 are trapped between the leader and the pace car. If they do not hit pit road this time, they will be allowed to pass the pace car. The 24, Will Weber, looks like he is going to go ahead and commit to pit lane. So the 26 of Hunter Reynolds is going to get back on the lead lap with the wave around. That is going to be big news for the 26 machine. he finally is able to be scored back on the lead lap.
Big news also for that 89 of Ken McCullough. Seeing him working hard to be up there and on the lead lap. Caution came out, and guess what? That 89 is back on the lead lap as well. Will we see those McCullough clan hook up later on here in the races? We've only got about 30 more laps to go. We will have about 29 when we go back green flag racing. So KR, one more pit stop for sure from here. Do you go all out now, or do you wait until your pit stop?
Well, I don't have much of a strategy when I'm out there, but maybe the 7 of Josh Milam does. Josh, you got your ears on?
How's it going?
Man, the 7 machine out there right now. If this race were to end as you're running, you'd be 3rd in the championship, but we still got some racing to go. The 7 machine, tell us about it. What's going on with you and your championship race here tonight?
A lot of racing left, about 30 laps. Looks like we're going to have another pit stop here. Going to try to stick beside these 2 guys in front of me. Hunter, looks like Hunter got back on the lead lap, and that was our goal. I was sticking with him there to get him back. He got the wave around here. We're still teammates into the final lap, so just got to stick near these chase cars here and try to get in the pits and out of the pits with them.
Well, we have seen that 7 machine kind of, start stage 1 out front, stage 2 maybe not as far out front as you would like. Here you are, final stage, back to the front. What do you think it's going to take to win this race here tonight?
I just got to have patience. We had a very good stage 1. Stage 2, pit strategy wasn't what we wanted. Just patience, drive around the track, stay clean for the final laps, and give it everything we got for that final go.
All right, Josh. Well, any shout-outs or thank yous you'd like to give here tonight?
Always you guys. You guys are fantastic. The OP crew, OP owners of the league, my teammates, FSR. We got some Fuel OGs watching tonight back in my hometown. So shout out to those guys for watching me tonight.
All right, man. Good luck out there for the rest of the race. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you as a champion.
All right, man.
That is Josh Milam, driver of the 7 machine, giving us a quick word in under yellow. And Dave, why don't you take us through this green flag?
Surely will. And a man before we go back green flag racing that I'm going to have to keep my eye on is Hunter Reynolds. How aggressive will he be coming up through the field to pit with the other championship contenders? I have to keep an eye on that, KR, as the Ford Mustang gets ready to come down pit road. Lights are already broken and off on that. There it goes. Set to go back green flag racing here at Daytona. And Eric Carlisle hits the gas, but a great start by the 0-2 of David Overstreet. James Mayer right there about to the bumper. Rick Seabrands has a long way to go to get to that 0-2's rear bumper. Outside lane is falling back now. Mayer has an opportunity to jump outside. Does he know he stays on the bottom? Milam just behind him. Vega following suit as well. Outside lane starting to gain that momentum back as they go back into turn 3.
Eric Carline in the 22, your race leader. James Mayer right now our championship leader in the 95 machine, but he has got the 7 of Josh Milam on his back bumper, and the teammate to the 95, that is Rick Seabrands in the 4 machine right there, as well as all 3, or I should say as 3 of the 4 championship contenders are inside the top 5.
As I mentioned, the man I am watching, Hunter Reynolds, has already made a few moves, already up into the 17th spot. I know that sounds like a long way back, but he is only 1.5 seconds back from this gaggle of cars up here at the lead. And as you said, 3 out of the top 4 are inside of the top 5. So Hunter Reynolds has his work cut out for him, but he is a man on the mission. Another position in the bag for him as Eric in that 22 puts another lap lead in his bag. Overstreet still trying to get the job done out there on the outside. Doug Rice in the 35 just behind Seabrands. Maybe needs to get up there and give Seabrands a little bit of a shove. Get that outside lane going a little bit faster.
The outside lane starting to show some momentum as they work their way through 3 and 4. Here comes Eric Carline in the 22 machine with that momentum through the corners, but the outside lane faster down the straightaways. They're really just faster coming up off the corner as the 02 gonna drop down in front of the 22 and Overstreet back to the front.
And if you're Meyer or Milam right now, I mean, maybe not if you're Meyer, then you might like Rick Seabrands leading that outside lane, but if I'm a championship contender, I don't like what I see happening right now. I'm 3rd in line on the inside. Rick Seabrands is
Chase
leading
Berry
outside.
hard into the wall. Chase Berry got into the wall hard, keeps it straight. Yellow flag does not fly as he just pounded the wall. Does not get out of shape, but that 11 machine, early race leader, now he has got damaged goods on that 11 machine. Well, Dave, that's really going to change things for Chase Berry. He is really falling off pace here. He's going to need help from a yellow, fast repair, and all sorts of stuff to get back in this thing.
Yeah, you hate to go this long, this late in a race, nice and easy, nice and clean, and have something happen like that. Put you way behind the 8 ball. Being behind the 8 ball, Rick Seabrands leading the field. Rest of the Chase contenders, the championship 4, they see it walking off on the distance on them right now. Hunter Reynolds, I told you, KR, now just outside of the top 10, running in 12, up here with this lead pack.
Yeah, Rick Seabrands is now our championship leader. James Mayer in the 95 machine has fallen to the 4th car in the inside lane. And then it is Josh Milam in 9th place behind Mayer. And even further back, all the way back, scored right now in 12th place is the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. So our championship 4 not running nose to tail like they were in stage 1, but Rick Seabrands in the 4 machine, seeing nothing but clean track in front of him, and he is able to breathe a sigh of relief right now as he is out front, and all he has to do is just focus on what's going on behind him. He doesn't have to focus so much on what's going on around him.
Yeah, and a good feeling inside of that 4 machine right now. Rick Seabrands leading the field, leading the championship 4. And there's a lot of drivers out there that have a lot of respect for that 4, so they'll push him but not push it to the limit. So he's got to feel nice and safe, but you never know what will happen as Doug Rice in the 35 tries to make a move, make that outside lane work and get around Seabrands, but he's not able to do it. Duvendak still on his rear bumper. Sorry, that is Duvendak.
Yeah, Duvendak in the 10, pushing the 35 of Doug Rice. And Duvendak didn't make it into playoff contention. He actually won 2 races in the first round of playoffs. The Robert Duvendak would like to pick up the win here tonight as well, just to show that he is capable of winning a championship. Maybe his timing wasn't right, but his skill is there. And that 10 machine now is going to be the lead car in the outside lane as the 35 of Doug Rice drops down to the inside in front of Rick Sebrands.
And we seem to have a lot of drivers that didn't make the final four right up there near the front of the field. Tristan Walker's right there. Doug Rice, he's been fast all year long. Robert Duvendak, race winner, as you said, too. So, I mean, all of the drivers up front are proven winners. I'm getting really concerned for the rest of these championship drivers, KR, as we are down to only 20 to go. Pit stops are right around the corner. And I don't like to...
Duvendak going around. He's going to collect the 95 of James Mayer as Robert Duvendak hard into the inside wall. And that was coming from the front of this lead pack as the 10 goes around, but he grabs a gear and gets rolling, and the yellow flag gonna fly once again here at Daytona. Holy cow, let's go to our turn 3 instant replay. High atop from the blimp, we see the 15 of Alex Green makes contact with the 10. James Mayer in the 95 making evasive action, getting through that without any contact. We go on board with the 95 machine. You see the 10 and the 15 don't get squared up nice and pretty, but the 15 with a heads up move there. And man, oh man, what a moment for James Mayer. Take another look at this here on our turn 3 instant replay. See the 15 and the 10 just not getting squared up coming up off the corner. Hunter Reynolds having to dodge it. We go on board with the 26. And man, that was close for James Mayer and Hunter Reynolds. All right, green flag pits. Pit stops underway once again. Doug Rice in the 35 into his pit stall. Misses it. So does the 22 of Eric Carline. Carline way overshoots it. The 35 way overshoots it. Both of them are still struggling to get into their stall. The 4 machine of Rick Sebrands, fuel only for the 4. He is down and away. Daniel Harrington in the 82, going to be second car off of pit road. The 12 machine of Tristan Walker going to be third. And holy cow, what a turn of events this is. And Rick Sebrands in the 4, once again, out front.
KR, I think Daniel Harrington actually missed his pit box. It doesn't show him actually stopping on pit road. So with everything going on pit road, looks like that causes another issue for another driver. May end up coming back down pit road this time.
We'll have to wait and see how that plays out for the 82 machine. But I'll tell you what, this race has got me all sorts of out of breath, out of shape, all kinds of out of whack. But man, oh man, Rick Sebrands in the 4, trying to win 2 championships in a row. He was last season's champion. He is less than 20 laps away from pulling it off once again. But Josh Milam and James Mayer, both these drivers inside the top 5 for this restart. Hunter Reynolds scored in 7th place. So our championship 4, all right there. This race is far from over. This championship is far from decided.
That it is, and I'm pretty decided on we're about to see some real aggressive, real calculated maneuvers from our championship 4. Less than 20 to go. We'll have close to 15 laps left in this race when we go back green flag racing KR. And if these drivers have ever put on a show for us throughout the season, I think this one is gonna top them all. This little bit of a drag race, I'd call it, sprint race, man, it's for the big trophy. It's for that four footer you got at home on your kitchen table, man. You know what I mean? You just hammer down, and it is what it is.
I did hammer down for that 4-foot trophy. It is no longer on my kitchen table. It's actually been moved to the living room now. And the wife doesn't like it there either. Just FYI.
Yeah, well, I told you where I'd stick it, and that's in the bed with me. We all know how that would end up turning out, but we'll just leave it like that. I can act tough on radio, right?
Absolutely. You can always be tough on the internet. Keyboard warrior.
Woohoo!
All right, so a few drivers made the break for pit road. That is going to put 3 of our 4 contenders inside the top 4. Hunter Reynolds in the 26, going to round out the top 5. Les Levy in the 62, the only driver not in championship contention that is going to restart inside the top 5. Alex Green in the 15 machine, going to restart outside row number 3. So our 4 championship contenders, once again, all sitting right there within striking distance of each other.
Oh man, this is gonna be great. I mean, the starting order for this restart is pretty much what it was at the beginning of the race. Les Levy was right there at the beginning of the race as well, if you remember that far back. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see if Les Levy's gonna go up there and shake his finger at the field and say ha ha and steal a race win from these guys. We'll have to wait and see. Ford Mustang is about to turn off KR. Here you go, have at it, bud.
Ford Mustang down and away. Rick Seabrand's in the 4, in control of this field. Green flag is out, and we are back underway as we're looking at 16 laps to go here in our championship race at Daytona, as the 4 and the 95, 2 teammates working together. The 26 and the 7, those 2 are teammates. They are separated for the moment. Will they find a way to hook up? Here comes the 7 of Josh Milam and the 62 of Les Levy. Josh Milam doesn't have the luxury of working with a teammate, but he will work with whoever gets to his back bumper. And I'll tell you what, that 62 of Les Levy, he'd be somebody I'd love to have pushing me as well, because I tell you what, that 62 is hungry for a win. If that 62 wins this race, I want to follow him. If he pushes me through the corners and onto the back stretch, the front stretch for the final time, he makes a move, I'm going to do everything I can to follow that 62.
And not only does Milam have the 62, but he's got Tristan Walker, Anthony English now joining that outside lane, and that's going to give the momentum to that outside lane as they begin to start inching forward on Rick Seabrand's in that bottom lane. But absolutely would not like the position I'm in, being stuck out there on the outside, no teammate. But anybody can be a teammate, KR, as you said. So If you're Rick Seabrands, do you think about leaving your teammate blocking that outside run?
There's always a danger to throwing a block. But if you can make that car wide as possible, that always works to your favor. But I do not know how I feel about coming up off the bottom lane in this situation where we have so many cars running nose to tail, both the high side and the low side. So I think the for Rick Seabrands right now, he has got to be committed to the yellow line. The 95 of James Mayer, he doesn't have any room to work with. So he has got to be committed to pushing his teammate. You are kind of looking at a situation where everyone just has to really work together and make the most of their situation that they have. And the only variable I see for the moment is the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. He is the third car in the inside line. He is from the Fuel Sim Racing stable. His teammate, the 7 of Josh Milam, is leading the charge in the outside lane. For that 26, he might be the first one we see make an aggressive move as he tries to get up to his teammate.
Aggressive moves will happen, but without a doubt, I am for sure we will see one. But right now, it's not going to happen with the side drafting that outside lane is doing on that inside lane. They're not leaving any open air out there. So if the run comes, it's going to have to be from the long way around, from that third lane, from the high, wide, and handsome lane up there. So your championship 4 up in the top 4 positions are setting up the field for a rough finish. They're going to want to go up there and steal a race win away from these championship drivers.
We go on board with the 04 of Mark Mann. You can see there's not a lot of room. That outside lane staying tucked in tight to the door panel of the inside lane. But no one really able to make a move as we're coming up on 10 laps to go. When they cross the start finish line, keep in mind we will have 2 attempts at a green-white checker.
If we need them, Rick Seabrands hopes we don't need them. But look back there in the distance, just behind Alex Green, 3 wide, starting to develop. So that long way around is starting to happen. A few drivers, looks like David McCullough's up there pushing this line to the front. I believe that's Travis Elliott leading that third lane as they're going to pull even with the rear bumper of the 12 of Tristan Walker. Start having this 3 wide battle for the race lead. Look at how much distance these drivers have covered on that outside lane. Now Ken McCullough joining that third lane as well. Mark Vega just behind him. KR coming to 9 laps to go. We are 3 wide for first through, what is that, 10th, 15th? I don't know.
It is a huge knot of cars all on the lead lap. We only have 1 car not on the lead lap. That is the 24 machine of Will Weber. Everyone else has a shot at winning this race, and you can see it in this shot right there. They are all running within inches of each other. And man, I'll tell you what, I would hate to be one of these championship 4 drivers right now as the pressure mounts with 9 laps to go.
And Les Levy with an issue. He falls way off of the bumper of Milam. That's going to cost Milam big. Did he get too hot from pushing Milam? Milam almost was able to clear, and I believe so. As Milam goes to the top, I think that's going to give the air to Les Levy. Hunter Reynolds now ducks out. He's going to pull beside Mayer for that second
Milam
position.
in the wall. Milam scraped the wall a little bit. That really broke up his momentum. He is falling back very quickly. That outside lane stalled out because of Josh Milam tagging the wall. And, you know, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, now has a clean air as he is leading the charge in that second lane.
But the trouble for him, KR, might be Les Levy in a 62. Had a moment. Looks like he had to back out of the gas, get some air to that 62. Will that come into play here in the closing stages as he just pushed for a little too long? He gets a good shove from Walker going into turns 1 and 2. Brands and Mayer, however, still making that bottom lane work for them. 7 laps to go. Seabrand's still at the point.
Rick Seabrand's leading the charge for the moment. Here comes the 89 of Ken McCullough, the 7 of Josh Milam. Right there, he's getting back into the mix of it. Here comes our 4 championship contenders as the 95 of James Mayer. He's going to abandon his teammate, and he is going to lead this lap in the middle lane. And now Rick Seabrand finds himself behind his teammate, James Mayer, in the 95.
Very calculated and well-timed move for that 95 to duck out, get the push, cross the line as the leader, and get back down to that important, coveted yellow line around this track. You're going to need a lot of momentum to get the job done on that bottom lane, coming from the middle or outside lane. But outside lane starting to have 4 cars pretty much organized as Walker goes up, take control of that outside lane. Hunter Reynolds is going to drop back slightly from the loss of momentum. Man, KR, I got to catch my breath.
James Mayer in the 95 machine. 5 laps to go to decide a champion. Here we go, folks. Drivers know what is on the line, and everyone going to be pushing it very close on fuel. Rick Seabrand's in the 4. He is trying to make the move on his teammate in the outside lane. Hunter Reynolds pushing the 4 machine. This is a battle between teammates, and it is going to take another championship contender to decide it, possibly, as Hunter Reynolds going to move up to the 3rd lane. 3 championship contenders leading all 3 lanes, and James Mayer in the 95 has the advantage for the moment.
Man, oh man, things are picking up. Things are getting good. Oh, close there for a lot of your championship drivers. We're going to have 3 championship drivers, 3 wide, back down into turn 3. Once again, James Mayer starting to edge out on the field just so slightly, but it looks like that outside lane may be the place to be. Hunter Reynolds with a great push from the 12 of Tristan Walker. Cull it right on Walker's rear bumper as well. Les Levy now trying to come up through the center and get back to Seabrand's bumper as we enter turns 1 and 2.
Ooh, contact! The 12's in the wall. Josh Milam involved. The 7 machine of Josh Milam getting involved in this one. He has heavy contact, and Josh Milam is got to be hoping he has not used his fast repair as that bumper is gone. He tries to grab a gear. Tires are angry right now, and he has got to sort it back out. But the 7 of Josh Milam, I guess he's going to have some fun here because he feels his time is up. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay here. Back it up a little bit further. Everyone working their way through turns 1 and 2. The 12 machine gets out of shape. The 89 of Ken McCullough. And you see Josh Milam just nowhere to go. Getting all sorts of banged up. The 12 and the 62 of Les Levy looked like maybe a little bit of net code between those two as they went into turn 1. I'm sorry, the 40 of Anthony English. But the 7 of Josh Milam getting involved in this one. And one of our championship contenders. Maybe he doesn't have a fast repair in that 7 machine. I do not see a fast repair being used by the 7 for tire stop. That is not going to be good news for Josh Milam here tonight.
Yeah, tough break for one of your championship contenders, caught up in something not of his doing. But interesting to see. It looks like we've had one of our championship contenders at least stay out on track right here. We will go to a green, white, checkered, but it looks like Hunter Reynolds has chosen to stay out on track, being scored in the 3rd position. And James Mayer and Rick Seabrand's going to find themselves in 9th and 10th, I do believe, unless some of these cars in front of them pit, KR. So Hunter Reynolds with a little bit of a gap with only 2 to go when we go back green flag racing.
Hunter Reynolds going to be low on fuel for this green, white, checkered, but he has taken the gamble. I don't know how this is going to work for him. That is a big gamble. Maybe he can squeeze a bit more fuel out of it than what I have calculated. But our other 2 drivers in the championship, Rick Seabrands, James Mayer, coming down pit road.
And I don't, maybe crew chief thought our teammates gone, we're not going to get the help we necessarily are looking for. Why not throw a Hail Mary? It is for the championship. But I don't know. I think I'm with you. I would have came down pit road. Yeah, I wouldn't be up there for the race win, but I'd be racing the guys that I'm racing for the big trophy. So I think I may have brought it down pit road myself, but okay, I've been wrong before this season, and wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong again. But what would a championship be here at OP Racing Super Speedway Series if it didn't come down to a green, white, checkered?
I'll tell you, OP Racing never disappoints on the strategy calls, on the excitement, on the drama, on who is going to win. Eric Carline in the 22 machine right now scored as your race leader as a rookie. This would be his first win of the season. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 machine going to be rolling across on fumes if he can make it to the checkered flag. James Mayer, Rick Seabrand should be good on fuel, but they gave up track position to secure that fuel status. And the 7 of Josh Milam on pit road, it sounds like his race is done here tonight. He has not left pit road. He is now being scored multiple laps down. And in a green, white, checkered attempt, that means his race is done. So Josh Milam, our first championship contender to fall, and unfortunately for him, it has come in the last part of the race.
Yeah, nobody likes to have trouble at a super speedway series because it usually means you're going to eat up a fast repair if you have one. If not, it pretty much ends your day. But when you go all the way to the end, then it happens. It makes it a little bit more frustrating. I'm sure some of y'all have raged quit things before, and nothing makes me rage quit like something like that. So glad to see he could have some good spirits and kind of play around there before he brought it back down to pit road. A tough break for him. And Hunter Reynolds not shutting the car completely off, KR, so he might think he has plenty fuel to make it around for this first green-white checkered.
Yeah, he definitely is rolling the dice on that. If there's one attempt at a green-white checkered, he may have enough fuel. If we go into a second green-white checkered attempt, I gotta believe that 26 doesn't have the fuel on it. But the 4 and the 95, they're gonna be the ones to watch here. Can they make something happen? They have enough fuel. They have come down pit road. Oh man, I don't know, guys. Here we go once again. Pace car down and away. Green flag is out. Eric Carline in a bid to win his first race of the season, his first race here in OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Les Levy trying to steal it from him on the outside lane with the 40 of Anthony English pushing him, but Hunter Reynolds in the 26 in a bid for the championship. He has the championship for the moment. The 95, the 4, here they come. Les Levy's gonna go around, and we're gonna get another yellow as the 4 machine gets involved. Hunter Reynolds gets through it, James Mayer gets through it, but oh my goodness, the 4 machine of Rick Seabrands getting caught up in this most recent caution. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay here. That didn't back it up enough. We'll take another look here. We go on board with Rick Seabrands in the 4. Les Levy in the 62 gets hooked and turns into the outside wall. Rick Seabrands, a little bit of contact with the 11 of Chase Berry, then tags the inside wall. James Mayer in the 95 machine, able to get through it. As we look at him coming down the backstretch, I don't think the 26 of Hunter Reynolds wanted to see this. The 95 of James Mayer might be the one sitting pretty as he got through that without trouble. And I am not sure what the 26 is going to do here.
Looks like he has no choice, KR, but to bring it down pit road, on pit road now. I believe that 95 of James Mayer, he is going to stay out on the racetrack. So that is going to put him in, I believe, the 3rd position. Have to see what happens with Rick Seabrands. I believe he does have a fast repair still. He brings his car into his pit stall. So, man, looks like we have one driver kind of up there by himself, but Hunter Reynolds is going to restart just behind James Mayer here. So the man with the most work cut out for him out of this championship 4 is going to be that 4 of Rick Seabrands. And just when you thought Hunter Reynolds had everything written off, down a lap late in stage 2, able to make it back on the lead lap and now running in the 5th spot. His championship hopes very much alive, but James Mayer controls his destiny. What will he do on this final green-white checkered? KR, and I don't know.
Well, let's see if we can get a word in with the 95 of James Mayer. James, you got your ears on, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
James, that 95 machine was able to squeeze through that one without any troubles. You have not gone this race without your fair share of problems, but the 95 machine right now looking to sit pretty. What can you tell us about what you are planning to do here?
Just send it really. Rick doesn't know, but I swiped his lucky horseshoe. Definitely some luck to make it to that last one there.
Well, the 95 looking for the moment as if it is your race to lose. A green-white checkered attempt here. We saw Hunter Reynolds not come down pit road last time. Now he had to make the pit stop. He's only a few cars behind you. What is it going to take for that 95 as you're going to be in clean air? What will you have to do here to win this championship?
Well, hopefully we'll get a good push, and if we have to, we're going to try to make this 95 car as wide as this whole track.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you out there tonight. You're going to have the Ada Cody Ober as the race leader, Mark Mann, Alex Green, all very tough competitors around you. But, man, stay smooth out there and good luck to you.
Thank you.
That is James Mayer, driver of the 95 machine from Alliance Motorsports. Oh, Dave. I don't know who's more nervous, me or the drivers.
Well, there's something interesting I'm looking at. I'm looking at my good buddy riding in that Batmobile. That's his teammate up there that has a chance to win a championship. Will he help him stay in front of Hunter Reynolds here? Or will he concern himself with the race win? Mark Mann was in the championship hunt. However, failed to make it into the championship here for the last race at Daytona. And the pace car lights are out. Don't ask me how all the lights stopped working except for the headlights, but
it's a Ford butt stain. It's
funnier things happen in Ford.
It's a butt stain.
So, yeah, it can't help it.
It's gonna have to go down pit road this time and get worked on. Oh, all right. Let's reset this field here. Cody Ober, your race leader. James Mayer, your championship contender, gonna restart on his outside. Mark Mann, Alex Green gonna restart row number 2. Row 3 will have Doug Rice on the inside and another championship contender, Hunter Reynolds, on the outside. Then we go back to row number 4. That will be Daniel Harrington, our stage 2 winner, and I believe the 10 of Robert Duvendak. Then Eric Carline in the 22, and our final championship contender who is still in the race, that is the 4 of Rick Seabrands. Josh Milam in the 7 machine got caught up before we hit the 100 lap scheduled distance in a incident. Finished his night. Here we go. Final time. Pace car. Down and away. I assume it's going to get out of the way. You never know with a Ford butt stain driver. They think they own everything. Cody Ober on the throttle. James Mayer in the 95. Trying to be a champion here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. All he has to do is beat the 26 and the 4. And for the moment, he is doing that. The Ada Cody Ober, though, looking for his first win this year. As I get all sorts of out of shape myself. 2 wound up. James Mayer in the 95 has the lead. He's going to drop down to the inside line. James Mayer in the 95 machine from Alliance Motorsports has the Ada Cody Ober behind him. Will he have the lead one more time around? White flag in the air, final lap. here for the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Here comes Hunter Reynolds on the outside. Drag race down into turn 3. This is for the championship. Hunter Reynolds trying to make something happen as the 51 machine of Travis Elliott pushing the 26, the 8 of Cody Ober pushing the 95 of James Mayer. Field working its way, final time into turns 3 and 4. Mayer with a big lead. Hunter Reynolds falling back a little bit. Here comes Cody Ober to the outside. James Mayer doesn't have the help. Hunter Reynolds gets turning the 8, and Hunter Reynolds is gonna win. James Mayer in the 95 got held up as Hunter Reynolds made contact with the 8, but Hunter Reynolds across the start-finish line to win the championship here in OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Dave? Holy cow!
I don't even know what to say right there.
What in the heck? The final feat of this race came down to a drag race, and Hunter Reynolds pulled it off as he crossed the start-finish line ahead of James Mayer, and the 26 gonna win the race and gonna win the championship. I don't know about you, Dave, but I need to catch my breath, so we're gonna step away from the microphones. We're gonna get our championship contenders. We're gonna try and talk to as many of them as we can. No one go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are here on Turn 3 Racing Network, and we have our 4 championship contenders here tonight, and we're going to start with our 4th place finisher. That is the 7 machine. That is Fuel Sim Racing driver Josh Milam. Josh, your race came to an end here early tonight, but not too early. About 99 laps into the race, the 7 machine, a little beat up, but tell us about your race, Josh, here as you fought for the championship.
Yeah, well, up to that final crash there, it was a very good race. Did everything I wanted to do tonight. Unfortunately, I made the decision to take that wall line late in the race. Didn't work out for me. The middle lane just didn't seem like it was moving very well. Scraped a few walls. The incident happened, and I was back in the pack, and I got caught up into it. all in all, it was a great season, great race. Very fortunate run with these guys in the Final Four. Great bunch of competitors tonight. Um, Super happy for my teammate Hunter. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to the 4 that made it this time. But very unfortunate I couldn't finish there. But things happen. It is what it is.
Well, Josh, the 7 machine can hang its hat on a 4th place finish in the championship standings. You had a shot at it. You were up front, and in fact, you had led a few laps out there tonight. But overall, what can you say that was the highlight of the season for you?
Highlight of the season, getting into the chase. I know early in the season, I think it wasn't going very well. I wasn't finishing very often. I'd have good stages, but I just couldn't seem to finish a race. So I kind of toned it down a little bit, started being more patient. I got hot towards the end of the season. I ended up finishing well in points and also getting in to the chase, luckily, and had a great streak here at the end and made it here to the Final Four. Very fortunate for that first time being in OP. Again, a great season, great group of guys I'm running with, and I can't wait for the next season.
All right, Josh. Well, man, congratulations on a 4th place in the season championship. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Again, you guys do an awesome job. Love being pulled up here to the booth to talk to you guys. The OP racers here that come out each Monday, even in our feeder series, that support us. OP admins, Alex, Cody, Rob, Derek, Robert, Anthony, Rick, Ernie, they all do a great job. Will Weber, Mark Vega, they're doing a fantastic job this series. Shout out to my teammates, Hunter here, Derek watching from home, wherever he is right now. Some guys that came to watch tonight that are the actual OGs of Fuel, come from a different console, and they watched us tonight, or watched me tonight race. Appreciate them guys sticking around, and I think that's about all I got.
All right, Josh, man. Once again, congratulations, and thank you so much for sticking around here tonight to give us this interview. Man, we look forward to seeing you out there next season.
All right, thank you guys for having me.
Josh Milam, driver of the 7 machine, finishing 4th here tonight in the championship with a car that was maybe someone to deal with, but ended up about a few laps short of the final distance. But Dave, you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher in the championship, and that is the 4 of Rick Seabrands.
Yes, I have, KR. And while we were standing here, Rick told me that, personally, hush hush on the low here, his favorite moment of the season was getting to race with us last week in the duels. How about that, Rick?
Let's not get too carried away here. Maybe I needed a little practice race for my duel last week. That's for sure. Now, first off, I want to say congratulations to Hunter, man. What a tremendous effort by that team and that driver there to come out here, and they were lights out here in the last 3-4 races of this chase here, man. They deserved it, man. They earned it. Great job by that team for sure.
Walk us through, if you will, Rick, the feeling there under that last green white checkered before you ended up caught up in an incident. Just tell us about the feeling that you have when something like that happens.
Yeah, we didn't even want to see that first caution to bring out that green white checker there. We were in cruise control on the outside there, and I seen we had I think it was Les behind me pushing, and we seen the outside line coming, so we knew we were going to get a good side draft off of both sides there. I thought we were going to shoot out there and be pretty set up pretty good in the middle there, but yeah, when that caution came out, man, that really hurt us there. We had to come down pit road and top off, get a little bit of fuel there to make it for the final green white checkered, and then we just got caught up in it. And we missed 2 earlier, and then we couldn't miss that 3rd one though. So then we lost our track position, and then by that point it's pretty late in the race, and tried to play catch up. But how it goes sometimes.
Well, Rick, I know a lot of people look at you as the Richard Petty of the OP series. A lot of respect and a lot of respect given from you immediately shouting out the newly crowned champion. Does this fuel your fire to come back next season and maybe try to take the next championship to kind of put the icing on the cake, a 2-1, if you will?
Well, first off, it's an honor to hear the nice words and stuff like that, but don't let them fool you. They're just trying to butter me up to let my guard down a little bit. I know better than that, but no, seriously, those guys. It's an honor to race here in OP. It's a first class community, man. These guys are top notch drivers, as you've seen out there. We were 3 wide, 8, 9 deep for a whole stage almost out there. So I mean, it's great racing. A ton of respect between everybody out there. It gets crazy out there sometimes, but that's just because of the competition level's just so high and everybody's going for it. These races are really hard to win, and it's even harder to win a championship. But again, congratulations to that fuel number 26 Hunter Reynolds, man. They deserved it. Great season by them.
All right. Well, job well done to you as well, sir. All season long. Look forward to seeing you next season. Battle for your chance at another championship. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, I do's to anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. All my line sports, Jim, Anthony, Robert, Markman, all the guys, and everybody that does what they do to get these races on. Alex, Cody, Mark Vega up in the booth. It's going to be Cody next season. That's going to be terrific. We'll get Vega back out on the track. And all you guys at Turn 3 for bringing the action to the fans. It's been a lot of fun. I can't wait for next season.
All right, there you have it. That was your third place championship finisher. Sixth on track tonight, the 4 of Rick Seabrands. And I believe, KR, you have finally been able to catch up with James Mayer from the 95.
I have James Mayer in the 95 machine, bringing it home second place in the championship here tonight, fifth place overall in the race. James, tell us about that final green-white checkered that you went through and the entire race. What was going on out there tonight?
Well, first, congrats to Hunter. Deserved it. And second, gotta apologize to Cody. I did not want to turn him there, trying to break their draft. I thought I was in the seat. Thought I had it. Thought I had with Cody pushing me there. I was counting the trophies already. But he made the move. I can't blame him. We're all racers. We're all gonna go for the win, so I don't blame him there. Yeah, I don't know. It's come back strong next year and try to do it again.
Well, James, that 95 machine, a solid run throughout the entire season. You know, you made it into the chase, and you did make it into the championship 4, and coming to, let's say, the final few feet of the race, the championship was yours, but you do end up bringing it home second place. What kind of momentum can you build from this and take into the next season?
I mean, just getting here to the top 4. I mean, it's all these guys in OP racing. Every week you can see a different winner. Strong field of competition. We got in on points, luckily. So eventually we got to get this 95 into victory lane. But it's a momentum booster, and with my teammates at Alliance Motorsports, next year hopefully right back in the same spot.
Well, James, that 95 machine has been one of my favorites to watch week in and week out. I look forward to seeing you next season as well. What can we expect to see out of the 95? Maybe a little bit more fire, maybe a little bit more confidence out of that 95?
Yeah, definitely. definitely got to get more aggressive. Definitely should have went for the block there. I played safe, and it cost me the championship. So yeah, next year I guess definitely see a little bit more aggressive driving when it comes down to stuff like this.
All right, James. Well, man, congratulations on a second place finish here in the championship. 5th place in this race here tonight. I wouldn't say anything bad about it. I think that has been an outstanding season for you in that 95 machine. But before we let you go, any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Of course, all my teammates at Alliance, all the guys that put OP together, and all the guys that come out here to run every night. You guys up in the booth, doing a great job and putting on a great broadcast, and all the people that come out and watch. So look forward to next year. Can't wait to get back out there and go after it again.
All right, James, thank you very much for taking the time to stick around and talk to us, man. Congratulations once again on the second place finish here in the championship tonight.
Thanks, guys.
And now it has come down to our championship winner. And here in the booth with us to talk to our winner, the OP Racing Super Speedway Series president, owner, the big honcho, Alex Green himself, here to talk with Hunter Reynolds. Alex, Hunter, the floor is yours.
Well, first off, I gotta say that was a really exciting race, especially being in it. I mean, I was just amazed. Though it looked like we were gonna have 3 wide for the championship, and the green white checkered came out, and everything happened the way it did. But I gotta say, definitely Hunter, congratulations, man. In the 3 seasons we've been doing this, I don't think I've ever seen anybody make such a big change from their rookie year to their sophomore season. I mean, your rookie year, you were just, I think you kind of really caught everybody off guard. You kind of were always mid-pack, always super respectful, always, just there to run clean. And you come in this season and it's like lighting a fire. I know Fuel was super excited to pick you up, and I'm really happy and really proud of how you've carried yourself this whole season. Really proud to call you champion. So I just want to congratulate you on behalf of myself, Cody, Derek, and Rob, the ownership, and definitely congratulate you on winning the biggest prize that we offer.
Appreciate it, man. This season was fun, and rookie series, I kind of ran up front a little bit, but yeah, right, just kind of get a feel for the drivers. I was having fun doing my thing, and then this year, we're going for it, and wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You deserved it for sure. Now, I do have to ask though, walk me through your mindset from the first caution that caused the green, from pretty much like the complete end of the race. Walk me through being 3 wide, thinking I was going for the lead, seeing Rick pit for the first green white checkered, and then getting the second attempt at a green white checkered. Walk me through kind of your mindset through the whole end of the race there.
Yeah, so it started out, I think I was P5 behind James, Rick, and Josh was on the top. And we were kind of worried about fuel at that point. I think we were going to make it till the end of the race, but I was really worried about green, white, checkered, and of course getting in a wreck, so I didn't have a fast repair. So we were just kind of riding it out. Shoot, it's all kind of foggy, actually. I know I got the move on the outside after Josh moved up and unfortunately hit the wall. And we were up there running. Caution comes out, which was actually kind of good for me because I don't know how long I could have stayed on that top line. It was kind of fading out. I think Tristan was getting hot. And I lost a couple spots, but I wasn't going to win the race sitting there in 5th place on the bottom, so we had to try something. I had enough fuel for one green lap or one green white checkered. I saw Rick and James pit in and I was really tempted to go check the fuel real quick. I was kind of panicking at that point. I had like 2.2 gallons, some like that. I was like, you know what? We're gambling. We're staying out. Save, shutting the car off, letting it coast. Hitting that last green, white checkered. I was starting behind Eric, I believe, with less on the outside. And the plan was to just survive, basically. I barely had enough fuel to make it through the green, white checkered. Um, you know, we were more worried about surviving than anything. So I saw Rick coming up on the outside. That kind of made me nervous, but I was like, I need to save fuel, just make sure I can make it to the end. And then the caution came out. Dang, I had to pit. There's no way about it. Unfortunately, Rick got involved in that. Josh was completely taken out by that. And I don't know if James had damage or not, but he made it through. So came in, take a splash, get back out as quick as we could. Started. Shoot, I forgot where I started actually. I don't know. I made it up to the top after that. I had to make some moves there, definitely at the end. You were actually gonna run out of fuel, and you were telling us that before we went green. I was starting behind you, sixth
Yeah.
place or eighth. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mess y'all up.
Yeah, no, that was really concerning. I was like, we're fixing to go 3 wide. You're gonna run out of fuel. Oh boy. I knew I had to split you at some point, and then I think you moved up or both. I don't. So we made it past. And then I think James got pushed all the way to the lead. And then, so that was fine. And then Robert Duvendak and Rick Seabrands went to the top, which I was gonna let them because I knew Travis would help me out. He was right behind him, so he just laid into me. And then coming through turn 3 and 4 on the last lap, we had a run down the backstretch. We were neck and neck. Then they moved up, and I was like, dang, I think Cody's gonna move up at this point, and he did. I was like, I'm just gonna lay into Cody. We might get a run or something.
That was his plan.
Yep, it developed. The run developed, and then I think the 95 kind of moved up to side draft, and then an incident happened. I don't know if it was probably a combination of me pushing and the 95. Cody got spun, and then here we are.
Yeah, that was definitely wild. So while you were doing that, I did want to check, and just to add to your accolades here, you are not only the youngest winner in OP history, you are also now the youngest champion, and you have become the champion with fewer starts than any other driver in OP racing history. Tonight was your 27th start. So you went from, in the Monday series, so it took you 27 races, a season and a half to become champion. So just congratulations. This was a wild ride to watch.
Man, yeah, this night was really crazy too. I'm happy to be there. That's honestly amazing. I wasn't sure how we were gonna do. Just kind of, come out and race, do the best I can, and yeah, this is really special. This is cool. Thank you guys for putting it on.
We do it for you guys, man. I'm just glad you enjoy it. But hey, man, I know Fuel's waiting for you. I know Josh and Derek's already blowing my phone up. Go celebrate with them, man.
All right, before I get out of here, I want to thank my teammates, Josh and Derek. You guys have been there for me. Thanks to Travis there for giving me that shove. I guess Cody too for moving up.
Believe me, that was Cody just wanted to win. He
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked out. It worked out.
Almost.
Yeah, that's alright. All the OG Fuel guys, shout out. Let's see, Green's Rod Shop for coming on this season. I really appreciate you guys' support and everything you do for me. Yeah, it's really cool to have you guys on board. All the friends and family out there watching, I appreciate you guys too. Turn 3, you guys put on a great broadcast, and of course, all the OP admins, you guys do a great job.
We appreciate it, man. But like I said, congratulations. You deserve it, man. You had a great season, and I'm looking forward to the next one with all you guys as well.
Yes, sir. Me too. I appreciate it.
KR?
I'll tell you what, Alex, Hunter, a season draws to a close. Hunter, you win this race. You win the championship. Nice job out there. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. It's been a fun and wild ride. Actually, before this race, my computer like went out like a Windows update like randomly, and the setbacks actually really helped me to get that fixed. You know, shout out to the crew chief for helping me out. Um, and yeah, I had to came back from a lap down. You know, there was just a lot of adversity in this race, and you know, fortunately, came out on top. Shout out to all the chase guys too. It was really fun racing with you guys. This wasn't easy. This was not easy at all. So.
Well, again, Hunter, congratulations, man. Nice job on the season. Congratulations on being the youngest OP Racing Super Speedway Series on Monday Night Championship winner. Nice job on all of those achievements here tonight. Season you can be proud of for sure.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely proud of this. Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, that is Hunter Reynolds, your championship contender here tonight. And Alex, Hunter, thank you guys for coming in, sticking around. And Alex, before we wrap up this season, anything you'd like to add to the broadcast for, you know, a season's worth of work and what we can expect out of next season?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief here. This season, I already put it in my message, but it was a lot of ups and downs for me on a personal level as well as on a league level. I think we really came together, especially towards the end. I think that it's become to a point, and as cliche as it sounds, that this league is more than just the community. And I'm super proud of what we've done with it. But this league is like a second family, and I look forward to every race I get to run with these guys. Doesn't matter the car, it's just being with them. So definitely want to give a shout out to all of our drivers. This league is nothing without them. Of course, want to thank you guys, KR. We called you the voice of OP for as long as I can, as long as I remember, and I definitely think that's true. Turn 3 Racing, all of it has been super supportive of us. We couldn't ask for a better partner than you guys. So I can't thank you guys enough for always being willing and being cordial and being willing to adjust. And I know I put you guys through some last minute changes really quick on sometimes, but can't thank you guys enough for being to work with that. Season 4 is well underway. We're working to we should be first race, I believe, is January 6th. I think the game plan is we're going to take 2 weeks just to do some administrative stuff, get some rule book changes, get some recruitment in, get all the series ready to go. And then we'll start the preseason. And we have a really cool idea we're going to do for the preseason. That's what we're going to do is a team draft. Have all the drivers, the rookies, and everything. Basically, we're gonna pick captains and have people pick drivers, and that's who you'll run with the preseason. And then whatever team does the best in the preseason gets a 10-point bonus for the regular season. Just really looking forward to building that community spirit, and that's the one thing I love about this league is you never know how your season's gonna go at the start. So from a personal standpoint, I'm hoping to get GOP. Get myself back in the mix, hopefully compete and get into the chase. 2 years in a row is too long for me to be out. But I'm just looking forward to getting the work in and being ready to go at the start of the year.
All right, Alex. Well, thank you very much for hanging out, for talking to us, man. Thank you for allowing Turn 3 to bring the racing action here tonight. Having Dave along with me as well. And man, we look forward to start of the next season on
Likewise.
January, as you said.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much. And Dave also, of course, thank you as well. It's been awesome hearing you up in the booth as well.
Alex Green, league owner, president, all that good stuff, giving us the final word here tonight. And Dave, the season draws to a close. 20 plus weeks of racing came down to the final few feet of the race. What more can be said about this race here tonight?
Not much of anything really, KR. I mean, we had fuel strategy coming into play. We had some late race cautions. We had both green-white checkers. We had a new champion crowned. What more do you want? 3 wide champion went from all the way being a lap down, all the way to winning the championship. Besides like stuff I'm not going to mention on the air, going on in the crowd or something like that. I mean, there's nothing else you can get better.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for me and Dave here on the season, on the race here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to kicking it off in the first part of January for season 4 of OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Guys, we hope you've enjoyed the season. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you give a thumbs up, give it a like. The drivers put in a lot of effort here tonight, and they appreciate that showing of appreciation from their fans. If you haven't done so, do make sure you subscribe to Turn 3 Racing Network so you know when all the best racing action is coming your way on the tubes of you. For myself, my name is KR Stolfus. Dave, thank you so much for an awesome season, and we look forward to next race on Monday night kicking off January. Guys, until then, well, I guess we'll have something to do, but it won't be as exciting, that's for sure, because OP Racing really does put on a heck of a show, and we will see you for the first race of the season back in January. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and have a good night.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.